Through the element of games making, we encourage players to create games that allow the central feature of our game to occur and evolve. This includes projection and reception, or in other words, the rally. There are so many areas in and around the home that players can conduct their games. The front yard, the backyard, the driveway, up against a wall, a deck area, maybe the garage, then say moving inside to the living room, the kitchen, the bedroom, or even the hallway. All these areas are different in size and shape, and therefore provide players or a player with a different set of challenges when conducting their games. When players are creating their court spaces in and around their home, we encourage them to be as imaginative as possible in relation to what constitutes a net for them. Now essentially, a net divides a court into two even spaces. So quite simply, a net could be a line on the ground. We could also have a net constructed from a mop, which is balanced on two paint tins, or even two smaller storage bins. In the case of one or two or three players rallying against a wall, whether that's inside or outside, players could simply attach some rope or string or some masking tape as a net. If we come back inside, we could use the couch in the living room, we could use the coffee table or even the kitchen table, or in the bedroom we could use the bed as a net that divides two even playing spaces. If we venture back outside, some players may decide to attach some rope or string to a tree or a pole or two chairs, and that's going to create a net for their game. We could even have players constructing a net area in a hallway of which I'm standing in right now. Players could find materials and bits and pieces from in and around their house which would create the net in the hallway that divides two even playing spaces. In other words, players are only restricted by their imagination in what they wish to use as a net in their games.
Gonna make things harder by having a higher net and someone planking on it.
Much like we've asked our players to be creative about the games that they come up with and the court areas of which they choose in and around their home to play these games, as well as the nets they construct, we wish them to consider the equipment and the scoring and the rules of their game. So for instance, players may use their hand, a tennis racket, a smaller modified bat, or any other striking equipment that they can find in and around their home.
I would like to use a racket, please.
All right. Players may also use a tennis ball, a low compression ball, a softer foam ball, a large ball, or even a balloon.
So we are going to have another game of tennis. Pluto here is going to be our ball. This foam racket thing is going to be our racket. We've got a blanket and then two chairs, which is going to be our net.
In relation to scoring, they could score numerically, they could use the alphabet, mathematical equations, they can engage in geography and identify with their favourite cities and countries and towns from around the world. They could even use their favourite TV shows or characters as a scoring system. Lion.
Elephant.
Koala. In terms of rules, players may choose to let the ball roll along the ground. Equally, they may choose to let the ball bounce once, twice or three times prior to striking the ball back to their opponent or up against a wall. Players may even choose to catch the ball or trap it on their racket or tap it to themselves before they return the ball. Many of these elements will be determined by the developmental readiness of the player and also their ability. But what is key is player choice and imagination for our players to play these games in and around their home.
Okay, Hunter, over to you. How would you like to do this activity now?
Probably if you said an addition problem, I'd use my right hand, and if you did a subtraction problem, I'd use my left hand.
Oh, that
so
sounds
you would have
good.
to swap hands.